So students, we studied yesterday about the chapter 2 in organization of life. Here what we have studied, we studied the cell theory, its structure, cell structure, type of structures, and also we studied the difference between the animal cell and plant cell. We also studied the difference between the microscope and electron microscope and light microscope. We studied the various typical cells, uh, parts of cells, what are the main parts of the cells. Here we discussed already about the cell wall, cell membrane and nucleus. Now we are going to study about the cytoplasm and its organelles. Okay, so what is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance filling with the space between the nucleus and the cell membrane. So which part do you see that is the cytoplasm? Let me show you the part of cytoplasm. Which you will see this, that what is the difference between the cytoplasm and nuclear plasm. See here that this is the typical cell diagram. Here you can see this is the nucleus. This is the outer layer. The gap between this nuclear membrane and this cell membrane, the whole part is known as a cytoplasm and cytoplasmic organelles. And this cytoplasm contains the organelles. And the gray part was showing here is the cytoplasm, which is jelly-like substance, which is moving round and round around the nucleus, and by this movement we can see that these all organelles are also moving along with it. Yet this movement is known as a cyclosis. Okay, and these compartments or components present in it are known as a cell organelles. So we will study one by one all the organelles which are present inside this cytoplasm, and this pink color inside the nucleus is known as a nucleoplasm. So this is a nucleoplasm inside the nucleus, and this is the gray material inside the cell is known as a cytoplasm, and this cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance. Okay, students, did you get my point? Students, do you hear me? Okay, so what are the components of the cell? The cell organelles are, Muhammad Saad says, repeat. Which thing do you want me to repeat, Saad? Saad, which thing do you want me to repeat? It's not a plastium, it's a cytoplasm. Okay, let me show you the cytoplasm. See here, this is the cell membrane and this is the nucleus, and between nucleus and cell membrane, the whole part is known as a cytoplasm and cytoplasmic organelles. This is cell wall and cell membrane, and this is the nucleus. The whole part between the nucleus and membrane is known as a cytoplasm. Okay, understood? And now we are coming towards the cytoplasmic organelles. What are cytoplasmic organelles? These are the mitochondria, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, plastids, ribosomes, centrosome, and vacuoles. These are the cytoplasmic organelles. And what we say that these organelles perform a very specific function which is unique to them. No other organelle can perform any other organelle's function. Each organelle performs its own function, like each organ which performs our own function. Like the stomach performs for the digestion, it doesn't beat for the to circulate the blood. The heart performs its own function, it beats to circulate the blood, but it doesn't digest the food. Just like that, inside the cell, these organelles are specified to perform a particular function, and these functions are performed by each organelle. Okay, so we will going to study one by one each organelle. One is the mitochondria. Number first, mitochondria is a most specific organelle, and it is the rod-like or bean-shaped structure. You can see here it's a rod-like structure and has a bean-like structure. And mitochondria is bounded by two membranes. Outer membrane is and the folded membrane. This is the outer membrane, and this one is the inner folded membrane. This is the inner folded membrane. You can see here this how this folded membrane is here, and this is the outer membrane. And these foldings are called the cristae. So when it folds inside, so these foldings are known as a cristae. The matrix, the full fluid-filled mitochondria is called the matrix. So there is a fluid inside this mitochondria, and this fluid is known as a matrix. Mitochondria are present in both plants and animal cells, and you know that mitochondria is known as a powerhouse of the cell because it produces the energy for the cell. Without mitochondria, no any cell can produce its own energy. That's why the mitochondria is the most essential organelle inside the cell, which is helpful for the production of energy. Okay, so this mitochondria is known as a powerhouse of the cell. And another most important thing about this mitochondria that it possesses its own DNA. It has its own DNA. Rather than the other organelles do not know any other organelle possess the DNA, but this organelle possesses the DNA. This organelle and another organelle which is present in the plant cell, which we will discuss later on. And it also possesses the own ribosomes, which are utilized for the production of the proteins. So this organelle is a complex organelle, and it possesses its own DNA, own ribosomes, and it possesses two membranes, outer membrane, inner membrane. The inner infold membrane is known as a cristae. So this is known as a powerhouse of the cell. Now we are going to study about the Golgi bodies or Golgi complex. It was discovered by the Camillo Golgi. They are stacks of the flattened membranous fluid-filled sacs, and what we call the sacs. These are the small sac-like structure or vesicles. They are known as a sac. And they consist the fluid, and it has some sort of information available which are utilized for the particular function. And the Golgi body is present in both plants and animals. These are also present in both plants and animals. The function of the Golgi body is to store and secrete the various type of information. What the Muhammad Mohit asked me that are there limited amount of mitochondria? No, Mohit, there are lots of mitochondria present inside each cell, and all the mitochondria divide itself, not go for the division with these cells. And also there are lots of mitochondria which produce so many energy for us in the form of ADP, and which we will discuss further in our next chapter. But these mitochondria are unique and they doesn't belong to the other nucleus. Okay, so Golgi bodies we studied, and now we are going to study the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is present in both plants and animal cells. Endoplasmic reticulum consists of the network of interconnected channels, and these are the channel-like substances which are connected with each other. And function of this endoplasmic reticulum is to provide the mechanical support. Cell should be supported by the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum also synthesize and transport the materials within the cell, and it also helps in the detoxification of the harmful effects of the drugs inside the cell. So it has the two main functions. One is the transportation, other is the detoxification, and third function is also there, which is providing the mechanical support. There are actually two types of the endoplasmic reticulum. One is rough endoplasmic reticulum, which you see here. This is the rough endoplasmic reticulum because there are small dots or attached over here, and this is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. But you can see that both are the channel-like substances, which are functioning for the transportation and detoxification of the organism. So why this shows a rough endoplasmic reticulum and this is smooth endoplasmic reticulum? There is a reason. Another organelle is attached over these channels, and this organelle is known as a ribosomes. But these organelles are connected attached over these endoplasmic. Like this endoplasmic reticulum is known as a rough endoplasmic reticulum, and commonly known as a RER, means rough endoplasmic reticulum, and this is known as a SR, means the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So what the function of the production, also what they produce the proteins. Because of the presence of the ribosomes over their body, they also produce the proteins. So they have the three main functions which we studied earlier. That one is providing the mechanical support, other is for the transportation and synthesis of material, and third is detoxification of the harmful effects of the drugs inside the cell. So these are the three main functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. What is the another? We are now studying the plastids. Plastids are the type of organelles, just like the mitochondria. They also possess their own DNA and ribosomes, and they are only present in the plant cell. And because they are present in the plant cell, because of the production of the synthesis of the glucose or carbohydrates, and they process for the photosynthesis. Okay. So in here you can see this there are the three main types of the plastids. One is the leucoplast, other is the chloroplast, and third one is the chromoplast. So in picture this you can observe these three types of the plastids inside the body of various parts of the plant. This is the white part of the plant which is under the soil, and these are known as the roots, and these roots contain the leucoplast. That's why it doesn't have any color and they are present inside the roots. This chloroplast is a green type of plastid which is present in the green part of the plant. This whole green part of the plant contains the chloroplast, while the chromoplast is a colored plastid which is present in the colored part of the plant. This part of the plant consists of the chromoplast. So let me show you the picture of plastid or chloroplast. Okay, let me share this picture with you. Okay, do you see the picture? Students, do you see the picture? Okay, this is the structure of the chloroplast. Here you can see this. This is the outer membrane. It is also the two membrane structure. It is the outer membrane. This is the inner membrane, and these are the various structure that are known as the thalakkoid, stoma, and lumen. These are the different parts, and the structure or the fluid present inside this structure is known as the stoma. So this part is utilized for the production of the glucose or sugar by the process of photosynthesis, and this green part of the chloroplast is present inside the only inside the plant cells, not in the animal cells. So therefore they are used for the purpose of production of the food. Okay, so let's come to again to the presentations. So in what about the leucoplasts? They are present in the beneath the part of plant beneath the earth or beneath the soil. We are going to study the plasters. So we studied the plasters, and we studied that it has the three main parts: leucoplast, the white part, which is present inside the soil; the chloroplast, the green part, is present over the reservoir. Now you can see here there is a network problem, I think. See if you don't. Do you see the presentation now? Any other person, any other student? There's the same problem. Do you see this, Raja? Okay. Now it's these plasters. So the leucoplastid and chloroplast and chromoplast. Chromoplast are the color part of the plant. Now we are coming another part of the plants, that is centrosomes. Centrosomes are the okay, Raja. Centrosome is a small structure near the nucleus. Centrosome contains two centrioles. Centrosome is present in the cells, animal cell. So you can see here that this is the typical centrosome, which consists the two parts, and each part is known as a centriole, and each centriole consists of three parts like this: 1, 2, and 3. You can see here this 1, 2, and 3 part, and this part 3, and these are the 9 parts: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts. These 9 parts with the triplet structure combine to form the centriole. So these two centrioles combine to form the centrosome. So it is a structure which is present only in the cell, not present in the plant cell. And it is, what is the function? Its function is to it is helpful in the cell division. When the cell division occurs in animal cell, it is helpful for the spinal formation, the movement of chromosomes towards the two different poles. So it is very much helpful during the cell division, and they are not appearing in the cell in normal conditions, but when the cell division starts in the cell, they are suddenly appeared in the cell and start producing chromosomes in the two different poles. Now, students, now we are going to learn another point is another part of the cytoplasm is the ribosomes. So ribosomes are the tiny granular structures. These are combined of or formed with the help of ribose RNA, and they are known as a protein factories. Why they are known as a proteins? Because you can see the blue line which is coming here. This is the typical protein chain which is being formed by this ribosomes, and these ribosomes have the two main parts. One is a larger subunit and other one is a smaller subunits, and this ribosome is formed by the ribosomal RNA with the help of ribosomal RNA, and these ribosomes are produced in the nucleus with the help of nucleolus. Okay, so these ribosomes are known as a, what I showed you, that is, they are known as a protein factories, and they are found in the cytoplasm as well as in the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, which I told you earlier that they are attached with the endoplasmic reticulum also. The ribosomes are present in the cell, both in plants and animal cell, and function of ribosomes are to produce the protein, and that's why they are known as a protein factories. I told you that it consists of the two subunits. One is a larger subunit and other one is a smaller subunits. Okay. Now, in the last, we are learning another type of organelle, which is known as a vacuole, which I told you it is present, larger size vacuole is present only in the plant cell, not in the animal cell. So the only smaller size vacuoles are present in the animal cell, but in the plant cell there is a one larger size vacuole, and this vacuole is very much helpful for the plant cell because it stores the various salts and water inside it, which provides the turgidity to the cell, and with the help of this the cell looks like very much stuffed, and because of this it shows very much structure was very much strengthened by the plant cell. So what kind of this vacuoles? They are the fluid filled other than the cytoplasm, but they are not this cytoplasm. We are not talking about this cytoplasm. We are talking about this nucleus part. It is a fluid film and surrounded by the membrane called the tonoplasm. It means this vacuole has the membrane, outer membrane, which is known as, its name is a tonoblast. In animal cell, they are numerous, small but temporary structures, while in plant cells they are permanent and very large in structure, one or a few in number. So as I told you earlier that in animals only smaller structures are found, but they are not permanent structures also. But in the animal cells, in the plant cell, they are permanent and only one structure is found there. So they are concerned with the storage of the cell cell. They are concerned with the storage of the cell cell. Okay, so it has the very much this liquid is present inside their body, and this liquid is known as a cell cell because it attracts the outer body water inside it to make it larger size, to make the turgidity the cells. That's why this vacuum is helpful. Okay, so from today we studied, we understood that what is the importance and what is the function. Now we are coming towards another most important topic, which is coming mostly in the paper exams, and this is the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. First of all, you need to understand what is the prokaryotic cell and what is eukaryotic cell. Do anybody knows about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell? Students, do you hear me? Cells. Again, there is a network problem, so we should wait for a while whether it gets connected or not. Uh, do you hear my voice, students? Okay. Do you hear my voice? Okay. So, what is the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells? There are we can distinguish the cells in two types. One is a prokaryotic and other one is a eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells are those cells type of which are primitive and oldest cells. They are always students. Do you hear my voice? Okay. So the best example of prokaryotic cell is a bacteria, and best examples of the eukaryotic cell is a amoeba. And what is the difference between the bacteria and amoeba, or what is the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, is that we can see here that what are the main differences, and then I will show you the pictures also. So before telling you, I want to show you the pictures. Let me share the screen with you. Do you see the shared screen? Friends? Yes, there is a network problem. That's why my voice is not coming to you properly. Hopefully, the network problem will be solved very soon. Do you hear my voice now? Okay. Do you see the shared screen of prokaryotes versus prokaryotes and eukaryotes? You still don't see. Okay. Let me wait. There is a network problem. That's why it's going to. Do you see it now? Student, do you see? Okay. Voice says yes, Saad says no. Whom I believe? Kunan says yes. Saad it again. Saad says yes now. Okay, Raza, do you see this? Okay, see here. This is the type of prokaryotic cell, and this is the type of eukaryotic cell. So, what is the difference in between both? One difference is that it doesn't have the nucleus. See here, you can see there is no any nucleus, but there is a nucleus present in it. So we can say that the one difference between them is a nucleus. Their nucleus is not present here, nucleus is present here. Okay, one difference is that. The second difference is that they don't have the membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies. These organelles are not present uh, in this bacteria or prokaryotic cell. So we can say that this is another difference between them, both of them. They are always a single cell organism, but they can be multicellular organisms. Eukaryotic cells can be multicellular organisms. What does it mean? What do you want to say? What should I scroll up? Let me see this. Let me show you this. This is the more proper way. Is this okay now? So this is, you can see here, there is no any nucleus, there is a nucleus. There is only the DNA present, and there is whole nuclear plasm, nuclear membrane, and chromosomes are present. There is only one single chromosome available in this prokaryotes, but there are so many chromosomes available in this eukaryotic cell. It don't possess the mitochondria, nucleus, and endoplasmic reticulums, but it possesses only the ribosome. These dot are showing the material. Okay, so this is the difference between both of the organisms. So now I want to share my screen with the PowerPoint presentation to show you the major differences, and want you to write them in your notebook. Okay, students. So number 1 point is prokaryotic cells has no true nucleus. Nuclear membrane is absent. The cells has the well-defined nucleus. Nuclear membrane is present. Number second point is in prokaryote cells, nucleoplasm is absent. Here the nucleoplasm is present. Ribosomes are smaller in size. Ribosomes are larger in size. And also they are prokaryotic cells has no membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi bodies, but it has the membrane bound organelles. In prokaryotic cells, the single chromosome is present only. Here, this diploid chromosomes are present in 2 sets. And here, the example is the bacteria, and examples are the algae, fungi, uh, plants, animals, humans are the examples of the eukaryotic cells. The prokaryotic cells are simple and smaller in size, but eukaryotic cells are complex and larger in size. Did you understand this prokaryotic and eukaryotic differences? Students? Okay, Raza. Now it's time for the questions. Vacuole is surrounded by cell membrane. Okay. So, what's the answer of yours? What you will answer me? Saad, what do you want me to repeat it? Answer the question. Okay, Osman has answered the question. What about the other students? Mohan Saad had also answered the question. Hunain also on the question about the Mohid and Raza. Mohid had answered the question. Okay, what about Raza? Okay. What about the Raza? Raza, answer the question. Okay, its answer is no, because the Vacuole is surrounded by the tonoplast, not the cell membrane. Okay? Vacuole is surrounded by the tonoplast, not the cell membrane. Cell membrane present in the cell on over the cell, not on over the vacuole. So another question is, bacteria contain all the organelles except ribosomes. Okay, does it show now? Do you see the question now? One question is, bacteria contains all the organelles except chloroplast, ribosome, cell membrane, cell wall. Which thing is not present in the bacteria? Chloroplast, ribosome, cell wall, or cell membrane? Okay, let me change the question. Do you see the poll now? Sat, do you see the question? Okay. Do you see now? Bacteria does not contain, which thing bacteria not contain? Chloroplast, ribosome, cell membrane, and cell wall. Three things are present in bacteria, only one thing is not present in bacteria. Which thing is that? Fingers? Answer in this poll. Okay. Okay, honey. Answer the question. Mohit, Saad, and Raza should answer the question. Okay, Mohit answered the question. What about the start and Raza? Okay, Raza. So correct answer is chloroplast. Okay, so chloroplast is the correct answer because these bacteria do not contain the chloroplast, but ribosomes, cell membrane, cell wall present in. Okay, students. Okay, so this is all about our today's lecture. Tomorrow we will study about more about the tissues and also about the organ system. Chloroplast is present in the plant cell only, Hunain, not in the bacterial cell. Yes, you're right. Chloroplast is present in plant cell only, not in the bacterial cell. And bacteria is a prokaryotic cell. Okay. This tomorrow we will study about when the cells combine, they form the tissues, and when the tissues combine, they form the organs. So we will study tomorrow the tissues and organs. Okay. See you tomorrow and have a nice day. You can leave the group now.